Hello, Silver community. It's Sterling Cannabis with you once again. And today, I want to talk to you a little bit about my 2021 stacking strategies. I've been seeing a number of these videos of late, and a lot of people seem real similar to what they were last year. I'm going to try to be a little bit different than I was last year. Last year's video that I put up a year ago this week, I met some of my goals. I did not meet a lot of them. 2020 was a very different year. Opportunities for me to make money that have been there in the past few years that have worked for me very well weren't here in 2020. I had no music festivals to go to. Yeah, I know most people go to music festivals and spend money. I go to music festivals and make money, but that's a different story altogether. I take my opportunities and I make them work. Didn't have a few of them this year, but that's okay. I mean, I have a fixed income with my pension and my Social Security, and there's a portion of that that I have set aside, PM budget. Well, I had a couple things this year that even bit into that. Back in the springtime, I had a goose fly into the windshield of my vehicle. Basically took out 1 month worth of PM budget. A couple months later, my well died. Had to borrow money to get back, because I certainly didn't have $7,500 for a new well, and that's what it did cost here. But what I was able to, do was get a loan, but now I have to make those payments. Well, where did that money come from? Only place it was PM budget. So cut my PM budget basically in half. So I'm still doing things to make money on the side, but it's been cut down a little bit. Some of the initial budget has been cut back, but I'm still working forward at that consistent rate. And that's what I want to suggest to you, is to find where that sweet spot is, the spot that works for you, where you're growing your PM stack, but you're not hurting your life, lifestyle, just paying the bills, whatever it is. If you're not paying your electric bill but you're buying silver, you're not doing it right. Pay your electric bill first. Pay all of your bills first. Then figure out what you can do. Now for me, I'll start with kind of some of the things that I just enjoy having. I go into an LCS and I'll look through their bins and look at their bars, because I think some of these art bars are just cool. I like having them just because of the art on them. But that's special. These are going to be way down on the totem pole for taking care of my financial needs. I like having foreign silver. I've made a few trades with friends in the community that are over in Europe, and I've got a number of examples of different foreign coins, and I like that. I've got some high premiums, the Rwandan Nautical series. I've got just, the BU silver. But every year that this has been out, I've got one from it. I think these are just absolutely gorgeous. But I love a ship on a coin. And the different textures that they put on these coins, I think they're really, really cool. I buy that one for myself. Rwandan has an African animal series. I buy those for my grandson. I've got a couple of other This is another Rwandan one. But those are just my special coins. You know, something. I'm not into flipping and trading, but ones that I'm willing to pay a few dollars for one example of. Then I've got my family collection. Now this would be the last silver I would ever sell. I've got a coin that represents not cousins and aunts and uncles, but my direct line back to my grandparents. All four of them. My siblings, my parents. And I want as nice a coin as I can have for each one of them. If I find a coin that would be an upgrade, I would probably do it. If it's at a price I can afford, blah, blah, blah. Got a little gold. Did not add much gold in 2020. I had a little bit. But I think this right here, this 20 peso, just shy of a ½ ounce Mexican gold, I think is the only ½ ounce I added all year. I did add a few fractionals. This one is one I added in 19. This Philharmonic I added in 19. These both came from the day after I got back from a music festival. Bought that. Didn't happen so much in 2020. But what I have been doing, and I think I've showed these a few times on my videos, is I really like silver dollars. Now there's Morgans here. I've got a few of them that are on the nicer end, but I bought every single one of them out of a cull bin. A couple that I was gifted. I'll show you a real special one here. I think it's in this pile. Oh no, it's not in this pile at all. But I buy these. They've gone up in price, but it's still relative to spot. And if I can get these culls for 21, 22 bucks, they're worth it. But what I have, Value Hunter turned me on to this year, and I look for these all the time now. These commemorative dollars. US backed, same amount of silver, same weight, same size as your Peace and Morgans. 3/4 of an ounce, actually over 3/4 of an ounce of silver, uncirculated. Now maybe you might not like what the symbol, the pictures that are on them. I mean, there won't be anything offensive on them, I don't believe. But, it might just not be something you're into. But I can get those relatively cheap. And this is where we're getting into the stuff that's there to protect me. These dollars, when the stuff hits the fan and our society is basically gone, these will be good for fairly large purchases. Like, big trips to the grocery stores, you might take 2 or 3 of these with you and bring home a basket full of groceries. So I will keep collecting them. I did not collect as many of them as I wanted to in 2020. I didn't collect half as many of them as I wanted to. But like I said, funding got muted somewhat this year. But what I have bought and will buy and have to continue buying, because this is the driver of everything. Generic rounds. Well, I mean, not necessarily rounds, but generic, cheap silver. Because this is the stuff that I can melt and make my poured art with. If you want to get a piece of art from me, there's COA that would come with it. You've seen my stuff in other videos. But I trade that for constitutional silver. $50, quarters, dimes, war nickels, 10-ounce rolls of $50, war nickels. That's the stuff that my stack is really made out of. That's the stuff that I'm going to use when I need to protect myself with my silver. That's what I believe everybody should have a whole bunch of. Now, will I have better funding in 2021 than I did in 20? I have no idea. I can't. I think that we're in a position where things could get much worse than they were in 2020. They could get remarkably better. I'm not making any predictions. I don't know the future. But prepare yourself for the worst and be blessed when it's not what you prepared yourself for. I mean, that's pretty much all I can say about that, you know. Get ready. Have the stuff that you really like, the stuff that warms your heart. Absolutely have the stuff that will protect you. And if you can, put back a little bit of stored wealth. That's what I'm going to do this year. I'm not going to give you numbers on anything because I don't know where my finances are going to be. If I'm just on my fixed income and nothing else, my stack probably won't grow by 100 ounces this year. But maybe it will. And if I have income sources that I have had in the past, it might grow by several hundred. We'll see. That's the fun part. We get to take a journey. Whole nother year getting started. Love you guys. Take care of yourself. Peace out and Merry Christmas.